And a very good evening. Welcome to Legends Field on the campus of Pendleton Heights High School. It is another edition of high school softball on the air here on 9-Star TV as the Pendleton Heights Arabians get set to take on the Delta Eagles. Good evening. I'm John Herrick, joined once again by Jim Leisure. And Jim, you know, we have been now blessed, I think, with the last couple of games that you and I have had to have great weather. We have great weather again here tonight, and 72 degrees and sunny skies and a little bit of a slight breeze coming in from center field, but other than that, great night for softball.
Absolutely. Again, I don't know which one of us is bringing the good luck, but one of us certainly is, because the other games that I've worked have had some type of weather issue. And like you said, other than a slight wind blowing in, maybe left to right a little bit, but look at the flag, it kind of looks like it's pointing right back from center field toward home plate. We should have a fantastic softball game here today between two pretty evenly matched teams.
Yes, definitely. You look at the starting pitcher for Pendleton Heights, Jordan Benefill, 77 strikeouts to 13 walks. You saw the ERA, 2.28. She is definitely the team's ace, a record of 6-2. She'll be making her 16th appearance of the season. She also has a save in there as well. The Delta Eagles will lead off with Sammy Herron, sophomore shortstop, who is batting an outstanding .449. Then it'll be Tabby Thornburg, Bree Evans, Natasha Coy, Bailey Butler, Natalie Maloney, Madison Delaney, Cassidy Dishman, and Elena Morgan. That is the starting lineup for the Delta Eagles from 1 through 9. They are 11-4 on the season as the first pitch comes in for ball one. We are underway from Legends Field. And pitch number 2 misses down and away for ball 2.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty heavy hitting lineup. You got a team batting average of 365, but you got 449, 400, 400, 444.
And there's the first strike of the game, and it's 2-1 the count.
So we should see the ball in play today.
Yeah, you sure will. I don't think you're going to see, and based on the two starting pitchers we have, I don't think you're going to see very many walks either. And that one's hit right back to Benefill, and she's got a routine play to first to retire Sammy Herron. Now the next one, Tabby Thornburg, senior. She's hitting 400, one of the other girls that Coach Jim Leisure here to my right talking about. And Thornburg making her 56th plate appearance, has 8 hits, 11 runs driven in, second on the team in that category, and 5 doubles. She's also one of the 2 team captains, so I think that shows you how valuable she is. She's at the top of the batting order, one of the team captains as well. And there you hear a strike called.
Yeah, Tabby chokes up just a little bit in the way she sits in her stance. Looks like she could be a threat to bunt at any time, but then as the pitcher starts to wind, she rocks back and takes a rip at that one foul.
Yeah, she knew it was an 0-2 count. Probably if it was anywhere near the heart of the plate, had to go after it, and she did. The defense for Pendleton Heights, you've got Savannah Hawhey in left field. Jaden Brown is in center. Allie Hall in right. Lauren Landis is at third base. Kylie Davis is at short, and there's a strikeout on Tabby Thornburg. It's the 78th strikeout of the season for Jordan Benefill, and it'll be up to Bree Evans to try to keep the inning alive.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a change-up, nice change of pace there by Benefill, and just kept Thornburg off balance and was able to get the strikeout.
Pitch comes high to Bree Evans. And Evans this season for Delta, batting .400. Does have 14 hits, 9 runs driven in. And she puts this one in play, but right over to the second baseman, Amanda White. And she throws her out, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Delta in the top of the first. And the rest of the defense for Pendleton Heights looks like this. Amanda White at second base. Kelsey Sturgeon is at first. Olivia Connor is your catcher. And, of course, Jordan Benefill in the circle as your pitcher. So now it's Pendleton Heights' turn to come up to bat. They feel great about that. You should take a look at their dugout here on 9-Star TV. The Delta defense looks like this. It'll be Natalie Maloney in left field. You've got Bree Evans in center. Madison Delaney is in right. Tabby Thornburg is over at third base. Sammy Herron is at short. Cassidy Dishman is at second. Bailey Butler on first. Natasha Coy is the starting pitcher for Delta today. and Kate Paxson is the catcher for Delta. So let's tell you a little bit about Natasha Coy, and as you can see right there, an 11-3 record. One thing I like about softball, Jim, is that there's not a whole. I mean, not that pitching depth isn't a good thing, but you get to see the star power of just maybe 1 to like 3 pitchers on a softball team, and those players really get a chance to shine, and that's what Natasha Coy has done this year.
Yeah, it's not horribly uncommon for a young lady to be able to pitch pretty much every inning of every game. Obviously, the mechanics of throwing overhanded, in baseball, there's a little more stress and strain on the shoulder, unlike the underhand delivery. Years ago, I was at Chittard High School coaching baseball. We had a softball pitcher that pitched every inning of every game for the Trojans that year.
And Lauren Landis, as you can tell with that average, comes right up and knocks the first pitch that she sees into the outfield for a base hit to have the threat brewing already for Pendleton Heights. A record of 14-7 for them, squaring off against the 11-4 Delta Eagles. And she just gets that bat right on that ball where she needs to put it.
Well, she's batting .507, which obviously that base hit will add to that. I got to be honest with you. The 3 years of varsity baseball, if you added up my batting average, it wouldn't come up to .507. That's awfully impressive.
Wouldn't it probably, if it was you, it'd probably come up to like .057?
Yeah, there would be a 0, a 5, and a 7 in there. But you're right. I believe the 0 would lead.
But the order of it would just be different.
Correct.
Kylie Davis is next, the freshman shortstop. Acted like she was going to show bunt there and ends up taking ball 1, evening up the count.
Yeah, second baseman Cassidy Dishman, the sophomore, tried to sneak in behind the runner Landis at first base and just did not draw the throw.
The 1-1, she taps it right back towards the circle in a routine play for Coy to throw her out, but that does advance Landis to second base, and that is the first out of the bottom of the first.
Yeah, almost a swinging bunt there. You saw that on the replay. Great camera angle, by the way, from the center field camera. But she did her job. She got the runner in scoring position, which is what you want to see out of your 2-hole a lot of times.
And that brings up Kelsey Sturgeon. A pretty good pitch from Coy, just I guess a little bit outside. But Sturgeon batting .397, 27 runs batted in. She is the leader on the team in that category. She has 23 hits and she has 12 doubles. Could she have one here? Well, she flies that one into center. It's a routine play for Bree Evans.
A really good pitch there by Natasha Coy. A little changeup that got Kelsey Sturgeon out in front of that thing, and she just popped it up. Good job of changing speeds. That's the key, is to keep hitters off balance. They don't know whether you're coming with a fastball or the change, and if you're good enough to deliver it the same motion, then you're very effective.
So can Amanda White deliver with runners in scoring position? She fans pitch number 1. The second baseman is a junior, and Amanda hitting .380, but also 19 hits, 15 runs batted in, 5 doubles, and even 2 home runs. But she pops it right over towards first, and a routine play for Bailey Butler takes care of the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. And 1 runner left on base, and through 1 inning of play, Pendleton Heights at Delta scoreless on 9-Star TV.
This May, for the first time on HD Net Movies, you'll see The Lookout, Ride with the Devil, Gone, and The Kids Are All Right. Plus, special presentations like Western Icons hosted by Ethan Wayne, everybody's favorite comedic duo, Bill and Ted.
Excellent!
Plus, you can catch all the action with Jet Li's Killer Collection.
And you take a look at Coach Doug Wilder for Delta in his 5th season with the program. He's hoping to get win number 67 in his career tonight against Pendleton Heights. But he's got a battle on his hands here. This ought to be a great pitching matchup. We've seen the numbers from both pitchers so far in the game, and Jordan Benefill starts off this inning with a strike to Natasha Coy, so it's pitcher versus pitcher here. And Natasha has had a great year for Delta, not just the 44 average, but also the 20 hits, second on the team, and also 10 runs batted in. She does have a double, and she is the team leader with 3 home runs, hitting 3 of their 6 collectively. Benefill delivers again with a strike. It's 0-2.
That pitch had a little bit of movement on it. Looked like it Kind of started inside, but then did break.
And I think it fooled Tasha Coy, and so did that one. So she strikes out, and Jordan Benefiel with her second K of the evening.
Yeah, nice job by the catcher.
Now batting the first baseman, number 20,
That's
Bailey
Olivia Connor
Butler.
behind the plate, catching that foul tip and squeezing it and hanging on to it for the strikeout.
You know, Jim, I want to ask you something. You being, a baseball coach at one point in your life, as that one's fouled off by Bailey Butler. How much importance do you place on a catcher's ability to frame the pitch?
Framing a pitch is very important, but you also got to be good at it. You'll see young kids who will move the glove so much that it ends up annoying the umpire. The umpire will feel like you're trying to show him or her up, and so you really got to coach it. I mean, it's like anything else. You coach framing pitches, and you do it by having your pitcher or your catcher behind the plate, have a coach feeding just pitches to him underhanded from about maybe 12 feet out in front, and he just catches it, and then you catch it and then turn your wrist. Catch it, turn your wrist, as opposed to catching it and moving your hand. So that's how you do. I mean, framing pitches is huge, but you got to be good at it.
And Bailey Butler strikes out. Boy, Jordan Benefiel has started off this inning in a groove.
Number 6,
just
Natalie
like
Maloney.
the other pitches you were talking about there, Jim. I mean, lots of movement on that one.
Well, the days of just everything being a fastball, I think, are over. These ladies have progressed to the point where they can make the ball break, as that one just did. Unfortunately, broke out of the strike zone. But this is really, I'll tell you what, in my opinion, girls high school softball may be more difficult to play than boys high school baseball, because it's such small diamond. Everything happens so fast. 60-foot base paths. If you're a fielder, you got to field the softball and get rid of it. You certainly don't have time like on a 90-foot base path.
Counts evened up now on Natalie Maloney. It is 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Benefiel trying to possibly strike out the side, and it's popped up, and it will go straight behind us here in the press box and foul out of play, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maloney, by the way, for Delta, a .290 hitter, 9 hits. She does have 1 driven in, making her 35th plate appearance of the season. Maloney is one of the seniors on this Delta roster, and she hacks that one away and stays alive by fouling it off. Probably nothing more annoying to an opposing pitcher than the batter to keep fouling pitches off.
Yeah, grinding out those at bats. You're exactly right.
That one just a little too far outside, so that evens up the count at 2-2.
Yeah, again, Benefiel, though, started that little bender, that little breaker. She started on the outside corner, and it broke away. She's trying to get the hitter to kind of fish a little bit, but Maloney again fouls another one off, and he's just absolutely being a pest.
Well, again, you would expect to see that out of a very experienced player like Maloney, being a senior, making life difficult on Jordan Benefiel. But Benefiel just made life difficult on her, striking out the side. So Jordan Benefiel, the starting pitcher for Pendleton Heights, already with 4 strikeouts in the game. And we go to the bottom of the second with no score between Pendleton Heights and Delta. Jim, what do you do when if you're coaching a team that's maybe having a little trouble hitting a pitcher the way, well, really both teams are at this point?
Well, I will not be surprised to see both teams start bunting, putting the ball in play, trying to place bunts, perfectly placed bunts between the third base line and the pitcher, or the first base line and the first baseman and the pitcher, or just shortening up the stroke itself. Instead of taking normal rips, normal cuts, just shorten the stroke up, put the ball in play.
Well, you take a look at the conference standings, and boy, New Palestine, the baseball team's really good. So is the softball team, as it turns out, an undefeated conference record and a 16-1 overall record. And then you've got Pendleton Heights and Delta right in conjunction with one another.
And even the overall records as well.
Yeah, very, very close to overall records, very close in the conference standings. So this is a very pivotal game for both of these teams.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning.
This is also
catcher,
a pivotal time of year.
Olivia
Because you're getting, your conference position is going to probably determine your playoff position. By the way, also for what it's worth, Delta is 4-1 on the road this year. Pendleton Heights 6-4, and that first pitch swinging by Olivia Connor goes into the wall in right field as it stays fair. So Olivia Connor wastes no time swinging at that one. That's the second hit of the game already for Pendleton Heights. and that will just help out Olivia's .410 batting average. She just got her 26th hit of the season.
Yeah, a little inside-out swing, and the ball just tails away from the right fielder, Madison Delaney, and great job of running the bases, too, by Olivia Connor. She picked her third base coach up. I don't know, you probably can't see it on the replay, but she was looking at her third base coach halfway before she got to second base and saw the coach had to stop sign up. Otherwise, she would have got to third because the relay throw inside was mishandled.
Megan Porter is coming on to courtesy run at second base for Olivia Connor, and the next batter is Chloe Klosser, who, as you can tell, outstanding batting average as that pitch from Natasha Coy gets away from Paxson. So that wild pitch will send Olivia Connor over to third base.
Yeah, just a tough play for Katie Paxson. It was a low pitch, and it just skipped, and it hit the plate and stayed low.
And Klosser hacks away at that one to foul it off and even the count up at a ball and a strike. So even though we are scoreless, great start to the bottom of the second inning for Pendleton Heights. They get the leadoff double from Olivia Connor, who is now on third base, and that makes the count 2-1 from Natasha Coy to Chloe Klosser. A little bit more on Klosser. 13 driven in, 18 hits. Trying to get number 19 here and possibly drive another run in, but she fouls that off to even the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now this may be one of those times where Klosser does just try to shorten it up a little bit and just pop one through the infield.
The 2-2 way outside. Good eye by Klosser. She kind of thought, boy, she really wanted to go after that, knowing what's at stake and possibly having to, you get a base hit here, you can score a run, but she laid off it. That time she knew she had to swing at it. As you've said often, Coach, on 9 Star TV, if it's 2 strikes or a count like this, anything near the plate you go after.
Absolutely. Even if you are just making that weak contact, fouling the ball off, you're certainly still alive to swing another day.
Well, this time she makes contact. It's in fair ground. Now it's going foul, and Madison Delaney, despite a great effort, could not come up with it. And that would have been one heck of a catch. And in all honesty, it might have been better for her not to catch that ball, because if she catches that ball in foul ground, tagging up from third would have been Connor, and Connor would have scored.
This early in the game, I would advise my outfielders to go ahead and make that catch. I figure 1 run's probably not going to.
Well, then you got this, and it's a pop-up, and it's a foul ball because Bailey Butler could not make the catch there. So how about that? Chloe Klosser stays alive for another at-bat.
Twice now she's gotten another shot, and this ball is clearly in foul territory. I think the sun
played a big role
away for Bailey Butler.
This one could be fair, and it's trouble. It gets down the line. Madison Delaney can't get there. Perfect piece of hitting from Klosser that will score Connor, and she has a stand-up triple. Wow.
Well, and again, some great base running. It's a great at-bat, don't get me wrong. She battled, but puts the ball right down the right field line. But the second her foot hit the first base bag, she was looking at Coach Rob Davis, who was just waving her around. There was no doubt. And she hit the inside part of the second base and was easily able to get to third.
Hit number 19 for Klosser, RBI number 14 for her. Next batter is Jaden Brown. And Brown this year a .346 average, 18 hits, 14 runs driven in. She has 3 doubles, but also 3 triples. She does lead the team in triples, and she skies this into shallow left. Coming on to make the catch is Maloney. She throws home, and even though the throw is high, it may prevent Klosser from tagging up, and it does. But boy, that was a little bit of an errant throw. Luckily, it took a friendly bounce off the wall. And we have finally the first out of the bottom of the second. But Pendleton Heights has taken a 1-0 lead on the Delta Eagles.
Coach Rob Davis going through a series of signals here. Let's see if he tries to put a play on with Allie Hall, the 8-hitter up.
She plays right field, and she tries to lay a bunt down, and it drops foul. Boy, Tabby Thornburg almost made one heck of a play on defense, lunging out. She almost had it. What a gem of a play that would have been.
You know what, and honestly, I think if she leaves her feet, if she just dives, she might have got it. And that's a clear double play because the runner on third base had come all the way down the line. Chloe Klosser, it was more like a suicide squeeze type play.
Different approach this time, and Hall stays away from it. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Allie Hall making her 60th plate appearance 14 runs scored, 18 hits. And she rips that into right. That one is going, and foul. Boy, that one was rushed.
Yeah, I think normally the lines are 200 feet. That was every bit of 190.
Yep.
But just foul.
And you know, all the folks with Delta were sitting there going, oh, keep going foul. Keep going right, and it did. There's the 1-2. This one put in play. Line drive, caught by Herrick, throw to third, double play. Sammy Herrick with a nice catch and the throw to third to double off Chloe Klosser and end the inning. But a run, 2 hits with no errors and nobody left on base. And we go to the third inning with the score. Pendleton Heights 1, Delta nothing on 9-Star TV.
Do you have the papers?
Not yet.
The Post is Time Magazine's #1 movie of the year.
You're talking about exposing government secrets.
I have a big decision to make.
From director Steven Spielberg. Now an Academy Award nominee for Best Picture.
The way they lied, those days have to be over.
The Post.
Well, an entertaining second inning. The highlight of the bottom of the second for Pendleton Heights was an RBI triple from Chloe Klosser, and that gives the Arabians a 1-0 lead over the Delta Eagles as we head to the top of the third. I'm John Herrick, joined by Jim Leisure. Thank you for joining us here on 9-Star TV. And it will be the 7, 8, 9 portion of the Delta order coming up. They have been retired in order through the first 2 innings. Madison Delaney is the first Delta player we'll see come up. She's a sophomore, hitting .259 this year. Correction, 240, and 3 runs driven in and 7 hits. And the first pitch to her is a strike.
Well, we'll see what Coach Doug Water decides to start maybe playing some small ball here.
And this one, she pops up and out of play, foul, 0-2. I think that's been one of the biggest keys to success in this game here, Jim, is Jordan Benefill's ability to get ahead in these counts early.
Well, and
puts a lot of pressure on Delta.
Unlike Pendleton, Delta really has not hit the ball hard yet. A couple ground outs to the infield and strikeouts. So they're not seeing the ball. They're not making good contact. So we'll see whether or not he decides to put some stuff on.
That 0-2 is up and in. Make it ball 1. That's really kind of the first pitch I think we've seen from Benefill that goes up in the zone. That one right on the outside corner for strike 3 looking. Now the other 4 strikes have been swinging, but that one looking.
Really, really nice pitch you see on the replay there. Again, she starts it kind of on the inner half of the plate, and it just breaks to just the corner. But it was a strike. It was a good pitch. Nasty pitch.
Cassidy Dishman is next. Nearly got hit by the first pitch to move ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Dishman, .314 batting average, 9 runs, 11 hits, 10 driven in. She has 2 doubles, and she's also homered once this year. The 1-0, Bandit. Boy, Benefill, I got to tell you, the way she's been mixing up what she's been throwing at these Delta players has been a thing of beauty so far. Popped up, it might be playable, and it hits the net and will be foul. How about that? The net, we're looking right at the softball that ended up coming foul. It's stuck up in the net. And it looked like the catcher, Olivia Connor, might have tripped over the umpire.
She absolutely did. Obviously, it wouldn't have made a difference because the ball was into the screen. But that's, again, a little bit of a dance between the umpire and the catcher to try to figure out, helping get out of the way of those.
1-2, ground ball over to third. Landis is there, routine play across the diamond for the second out of the inning. You know, in my last broadcasting job, Jim, I knew a catcher who's now playing at the junior college baseball level who had a couple of D1 offers. He always went out to the field and he would talk to the umpires for 10, 15 minutes sometimes. I think that goes a long way, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that happens in baseball and softball. The catchers and the umpires, they get to know each other really well. Umpires a lot of times will ask catchers, what does this kid throw? So that the umpire, he or she, has some idea what to look for so that they're not fooled by pitches. And, yeah, they do. There's a little bit of a teamwork that has to happen between the catcher and the home plate umpire for the whole thing to work.
Alana Morgan is the designated player for Delta. And the count to her so far, 1-1. Now it is 2-1 after that last pitch. Alana, one of the seniors on this Delta team, batting .341, has 14 hits and 12 runs batted in, the team leader in RBIs. She fouls that one off. She also has 3 doubles, and she has one of the team's 6 home runs. If she can stay alive, we go back to the top of the order, due up in the bottom of the 3rd for Pendleton Heights. It's their 9-1-2 portion of the batting order. And down swinging goes Alana Morgan. Jordan Benefill continues to dazzle in the circle for Pendleton Heights. She has 6 strikeouts now, and that takes us to the bottom of the 3rd, with Pendleton Heights coming up leading 1-0. We'll look at Savannah Hawhee and then Lauren Landis and Kylie Davis. Boy, and also, Jim, softball games can move very quick when you have 2 very good pitchers. And, Natasha Coy's obviously for Delta had a great season, but so far tonight, it's been all Jordan Benefill. As you take a look at the 4A Pendleton sectional for softball, Pendleton Heights is going to open up against Greenfield Central, and Mount Vernon will play Richmond in the other quarterfinal. And then you've got Muncie Central and Anderson getting byes into the next round. So that's what Pendleton Heights will be looking at in their future.
Well, it's good to see that this facility is being used for the section.
Yes.
I can't imagine there's a better facility. I told you when we got here, this press box is nicer than my house.
And then you look at the 3A. There's Delta playing Jay County to open up their 3A sectional.
Number 10, Savannah.
It is, boy, I agree. This softball press box is outstanding. I've been in facilities where they don't have, they do not have a press box, and they got an excellent one here at Pendleton Heights. Savannah Hawhee quickly got a ball to come her way that she stayed away from, and then tried to check her swing on the second pitch, could not. That time she fanned it, so now the count's 1-2.
You talk about movement. If we get a shot of that one again in a replay, I don't know if we can or not, but that was just nasty. That's a very, very difficult pitch to hit. Came back with a changeup.
And it missed for ball 2. Savannah hitting .385 this year. 13 runs scored, 15 hits, 2 runs batted in. And strike 3 looking. But that is the first strikeout for Natasha Coy. The difference in the game so far, RBI triple by Chloe Klosser that scored Olivia Connor in the 2nd inning. And now we are back at the top of the order for Pendleton Heights. Lauren Landis, you might remember, started this game off with a single and stays away from that pitch for ball 1. And she pulls it to the left, and Sammy Herron throws her out. Both times Jim Landis has been up, she's hit the ball that direction. Anything to that, or?
No, again, we don't get the luxury like they do in the major leagues of scouting every single game. I mean, there's a good chance that if you did have a spray chart on her, everything would be to the left side. Everything would be a pull. In the major leagues, they would probably shift her.
Kylie Davis is next. She grounded right back out to Natasha Coy back in the 1st inning. She sprays the first pitch foul, 0-1.
It's not uncommon, though, for high school hitters in both baseball and softball to have tendencies.
That pitch was low and bounces off of Paxton's glove on ball 1 strike.
And sometimes in games where teams play each other a lot, 2 or 3 times during the regular season.
That one slapped over too short. Sammy Herron is there. The throw, though, goes low off of Butler. And that might be, it's an error on either Herron or Butler, and I think it's going to probably be on Herron just because the throw was a little bit low.
Yeah, it was low, but I think it was a catchable ball. I mean,
yep, I think that's going to probably end up being on Butler. It looked like it was right there in the grasp, and Butler just didn't hang on to it. And coming up, Sturgeon, and she makes Delta pay for that error as she belts this one into right center. That sends Davis over to third base, so now you've got runners on first and third with 2 outs here.
Boy, it's funny how one little mistake sometimes can really cost you.
Now batting the second baseman,
it is the bottom of the third inning. And that brings up Amanda White, who popped up in the first to Bailey Butler, and she is quickly behind 0-1 here.
Yeah, you know, that ground ball to short should have been the third out of the inning, so you're out of the inning, you're in the dugout, you're getting the bats, and now all of a sudden you got a first and third situation.
The 0-1 lofted outside to even the count up at a ball and a strike. White is a junior, so she'll be back for her senior year, looking for hit number 20. And it's 2-1. She makes contact here, but this could take care of the inning. A sliding catch made by Bree Evans. It wasn't guaranteed, but she was able to take care of it. So in that inning, no runs, a hit with an error, and 2 runners left on base. And we go to the 4th inning with the score, 1-0. Pendleton Heights after 3.
Carnegie's A Place to Eat is the place for exceptional dining in Greenfield. Enjoy our hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, herbs and vegetables straight from our gardens, prepared with a northern Italian flair. Chef Ian and his staff welcome you as our guests to enjoy fine wines, dinners, and ambiance. Carnegie's is the place for your special event with a private room that seats 100. Perfect for your next party, business meeting, or wedding reception. We are located in the historic Carnegie Library in downtown Greenfield. We'll see you at Carnegie's.
We've played 3 complete here at Legends Field, and it's 1-0 Pendleton Heights. They do have 4 hits to go along with that 1 run. And almost had a couple more possibly come across there. Meanwhile, Delta has yet to have a base runner get on as you take a look at Coach Robbie Davis for Pendleton Heights. What a career he's had. Both these coaches, by the way, in their 5th seasons with these programs. And Davis with a career record of 81 and 53. Right now, his job awfully easy, isn't it, Jim? He's just saying, hey, put the ball in Jordan Benefill's hands and let her and the rest of the team handle their business, which they have done through 3. And right as I say that, of course, the first pitch is low and bounces to the wall.
Just got away from her a little bit.
But really,
she may have been trying something different with her grip, trying something different with her release, and you know, obviously she's having a lot of success, so now's a good time to maybe just try some things that maybe you've been working on.
The 1-0.
With your personal pitching coach, which anymore all these ladies, you know, take lessons year-round here in Indiana. There's all kinds of indoor facilities that they can go to and get coached year-round, so she's probably just working on her.
That one slapped over too short. Charging is Davis. Not an easy play, but she makes it.
Well, and that's an example of what I was starting to say earlier. You know, with 60-foot base paths, you don't have much room for error. This is a ball that kind of hangs up just a little bit, and just a fantastic job of Davis, Kylie Davis, the freshman, catching it and getting rid of it. Quick release.
Tabby Thornburg, your next batter. She was the very first strikeout victim of Benefill's back in the 1st inning. Next pitch is right there for a strike to even it up. Look at also these 2 teams and how they stack up with one another. Delta has scored 92 runs this year compared to Pendleton Heights now at 163. So Pendleton Heights has been the more prolific team. Of course, one thing got to factor in, Delta has played 15 games and Pendleton Heights has played 21, so 6 more games there to choose from. The 1-2 almost hit her. That was up and in.
Well, it goes back again to the team batting averages. You know, Pendleton Heights as a team bats almost 400. It's like we came into this game at 397. Delta an impressive 365, but still a little bit of a difference.
That one goes off the glove of Landis. Still a tough play, and that'll get through for a, I would say probably a hit for Thornburg, just because it was not an easy play for Landis. I know it went off of her glove.
Yeah, I think that's clearly a hit. You tell, as a coach, you tell your third baseman, because they're coming at that angle, you go get every single ball you can get. And if you don't get it, the shortstop should be coming in behind you, and then if they have time, they can make a play. But I would score that a hit.
But like you said, with how short and compact the field is in softball, it is not.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time.
You just don't. You almost have to field it perfectly cleanly.
Right.
And you're not going to field every ball perfect.
That was a tough play. That was just a well-placed ball. That's clearly a base hit.
So now things gotten interesting here in the top of the fourth. Delta trying to make things more interesting, but they might have a double play ball here. No. Bree Evans grounds it over to Amanda White and gets the force at second.
When White just hesitates a little bit, you'll see it here on the replay. She fields the ball. She looks at first and actually cocks her arm like she's going to go to first, and then realizes, I think, that there's a runner on. We got a force. She could have had a double play there.
But she does get the lead runner, and there's 2 outs, and that one from Natasha Coy grounded right back to Jordan Benefill, and that will end the 4th inning. No runs, a hit with no errors, and 1 runner left on base. The end of the top of the 4th, that is. So we'll stay right here as we get ready for the bottom of the 4th, and that was the first really time, Jim, that we saw signs of life out of the Delta offense, because Pendleton Heights had pitched a no-hitter through 3 innings. Jordan Benefill was really perfect, and the one hit that Tabby Thornburg got was one hit that was not an easy one to get.
Right, no, it was a legitimate base hit, and that just breaks up the no-hitter, obviously, but Jordan Benefill still has the shutout going, and it's still, at this point, I haven't seen anything out of Delta that's got me concerned. Now, they are running out of time a little bit. Again, if I was coaching, I would be telling my ladies, at some point, we got to start making some contact, put the ball in play. You see what happens when we put it in play.
Yeah.
Number one, they didn't field it at third, had a little bit of a miscue at second, and that's just a situation where the fielders have to know before the ball's ever pitched, what am I going to do if it's hit to me on the ground? Where am I going to go if it's hit to me in the air? And like I said earlier, it just looked like Amanda White, the second baseman for Pendleton, fielded the ball, started to go to first, and then realized, hey, there's a runner going. And had she been a little bit more aware, a little bit more game savvy, she would have easily turned a double play there.
Connor.
Well, Olivia Connor is up, and you might remember back in the second, she really got the inning starting with a bang, and she does the same thing here in the 4th. She swung at the first pitch from Coy to lead off the second. She does the same thing here in the 4th and gets a base hit, making her 2 for 2. And by the way, Pendleton Heights has had at least 1 hit now in every one of their innings.
Really good contact. It even sounded good coming off the bat. We have a mic down on the field. You probably could have heard that.
Brings up Chloe Klosser, who drove in the lone run of the game back in the second, and she flies it down the right field line. And if you remember that, back in the second, she loves to hit it opposite way.
She went that way 2 or 3 times foul until she finally was able to drop one inside the line.
0-1. Now she pulls this one over to third. Thornburg throws to second and gets the lead runner, Connor.
And that was actually number 16, Megan Porter, who had come in to run.
Sorry, that's
right. That's okay.
Yeah, she had come into courtesy run, and she did that before earlier.
Number 20, Jaden Brown.
Jaden Brown is up. She flew out to left back in the second, so there's now 1 out, and there's a line shot. There might be 2. They're going to say she doubled her off. Wow. Line hit by Jaden Brown, caught by Herron, and Herron throws to first and ends the inning on the double play. What a great line catch by Herron, and throws to first just in the nick of time. Took the umpire a second, but he said out. So that takes us to the end of the 4th. The 5th inning comes up when we come back on 9 Star TV with a score 1-0 Pendleton Heights.
A neighborhood drive-up builds their menu around locally sourced foods. A community-owned telecom delivers fiber optic bandwidth that helps them leverage high-performing technology with lower startup costs. Turns out, going local doesn't just mean fresh, it means better. 9 Star Connect. Community-owned, community-strong. A working mom who brings her best to both roles. a community-owned telecom that connects her home with high-bandwidth fiber optic. Mom can work from home with fast, reliable connectivity and be there when the kids come home. When everyone logs on, the internet connections stay fast and the family stays connected. 9-Star Connect. Community-owned. Community strong.
We return to Legends Field where the score is 1-0. Pendleton Heights and the Delta Eagles got to try to get something going here. They've been out hitting this game by Pendleton 5-1. And that pitch just hit Bailey Butler. And that's something we have not seen out of Jordan Benefiel all evening long, and that one just got away from her.
Yeah, you mentioned they've been out hit 5-1, but
number 6,
still a very close ball game, 1-0, and now they got a runner on first base.
And Benefiel, that's the 7th time this year that she has hit someone. But again, 7 times over a span of 21 games. That's not very much. She
comes right back with a strike, though. You know, that's good to see her focused.
Looking from up here, that pitch did just barely miss.
I really like that pitch.
Yeah.
It's just nasty the way that it breaks away from the hitter, and going to be difficult to get a bat on.
Well, she does get a bat on it, but it's foul, 1-2. Last time Maloney was up was in the 2nd inning, and she struck out. That was probably the best inning that Jordan Benefiel has had in this game, where she struck out the side. I mean, she just mowed them down. Natasha Coy, Bailey Butler, Natalie Maloney in that 2nd inning struck out all 3 of those batters swinging. This one, though, kind of jammed her, but is able to fall foul. So Maloney, again, she did this in her last at bat, though. Before she struck out, she battled and battled and battled. It was a hard-earned strikeout for Benefiel. Let's see if that's the case here again. Fouled it straight back to the net. You know, if I were all those people standing behind that net, I would still be a little nervous, even if that ball. I know the net's there. But
yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah, I guess you do, but it's always still a little bit unsettling. There is the pitch that evens the count up.
Delaney just grinding this at bat out here, fouling off a couple pitches, like the 7th pitch of the at bat.
That one has popped up, and I think it's going to foul again.
Out of play.
Man, she has gone opposite way to left. She has pulled it to right. She's tapped it behind home plate.
Yeah, I'd like to see her choke up maybe just a little bit, just maybe an inch.
Fouls another one straight back. So that's the 2nd one she's fouled straight back, too. She's hit pretty much every inch of foul ground at this point. By the way, you as a baseball coach, tell us, what's the importance of choking up? You hear coaches say that all the time.
Bat control. It makes the bat a little shorter. You're able to just have a little bit more control. It doesn't sound like much, but, you know, it's almost, if you think of like a pole vaulter as he runs down, he has one hand kind of in the middle. In the old days of baseball, Ty Cobb days, they used to bat with their hands apart.
And another hard-earned strikeout for Benefiel. Got her to swing and miss. And you can tell Natalie Maloney disappointed in herself there. But a quality at bat that, at least, if nothing else, ran Jordan Benefiel's pitch count up. And now that brings up Madison Delaney, who is 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout looking. And she skies this one up in the air, and it will go out. But good effort, though, by Lauren Landis, Kylie Davis, and Savannah Hawhey. All 3 of those girls run over there and try to get the ball. One thing I've loved is the effort. The effort from both these teams in this game has been outstanding.
Well, 2 well-coached teams, as you can tell from the coaches' records.
The 0-1 put in play. Davis has to charge and make the play to first, and she does. And it's just, man, you know, I mean, it didn't even feel like the ball was on the ground that long, and she already had no play at second because Butler was already in safely, so she just had to scoop and throw as fast as she could, and she did just that. So now there's 2 outs.
Good situational awareness by the freshman, Kylie Davis there. She knew she had no play at second. So when in doubt, get an out.
She foul tips this one into the glove of Olivia Connor. It is 0-1. Dishman grounded out back in the 3rd inning. Critical juncture of this game here. Delta having the tying run on for second, and that one is powered into left. That could be trouble, and that ball hits the ground. Hawhey could not hang on to it, and it ends up being a double. I'm going to rule that a hit because that was an incredible.
That's just a great effort by Hawhey. She did everything she humanly could do to catch this ball. It just drops, and when she makes contact with the fence, it falls out. You'll see it.
Yeah, but that was just an unbelievable effort. Not an easy play at all to go down as an RBI double for Dishman. So that ties the game up at 1. As Elena Morgan comes up and takes a strike from Jordan Benefill. So now we are knotted up at a run apiece. And that is just the 2nd hit of the game for Delta. Both of those coming back here in the last 2 innings. Delta was hitless through the first 3. Now they've gotten a hit in the 4th and the 5th. 1-1, and she chased it and missed. By the way, coming up for Pendleton Heights in the bottom of the 5th, it's their 8-9-1 portion of the order. Allie Hall, Savannah Hawhey, and Lauren Landis. The 1-2, ripped into left. And nearly another catch by Hawhey. Boy, she's had 2 very close misses, and just outstanding effort on both of those tries. Just could not haul that one in.
Yeah, again, certainly not a lack of effort here. You see it's out of the kind of camera view there where she slides and actually tries to make a catch and couldn't get it done.
And the 1-2, and that takes care of the top of the 5th. But in that top of the 5th inning for Delta, they get a run with a hit, no errors, and they do leave a runner on base. So now, the first time in a while, Pendleton Heights does not have the lead. This game is now tied up at 1. But that has got to feel excellent right there if you are Doug Wilder, the man heading back to the Delta bullpen.
Well, you had asked earlier, what do you do? And obviously he decided to stay patient. They haven't really put a lot of bunts or a lot of plays on. He trusts his kids, and he knows his kids better than we do. He sees them all day, every day in practice, and every night, when they compete against other teams. So he felt like he had a run or 2 in him, and he was right.
Now let's see if Pendleton Heights has a response. Got a track meet going on at Pendleton Heights as well. I came in and expecting a softball game, but there's a whole lot more going on at Pendleton. Just an overall outstanding athletic facility they have here for all of their sports.
Yeah, I wonder how athletic directors do it with all the games going on.
Oh, I know. The life of an AD, it just seems like does not ever involve sleep. Because if you're the athletic director, you're at a football game, you're at a basketball game, you're at a track meet,
Yeah, and who knows? There's a good chance the Arabian baseball team's on the road tonight. So there's athletic contests going on all over East Central Indiana, and the AD is literally responsible for the ones here at the school, but also responsible for what goes on the road as well.
Count is 1-1 to Allie Hall, who lined out into that double play in the 2nd that ended the inning for Pendleton Heights, and that's one thing Pendleton Heights has to be thinking about here. They have stranded 3 runners on base. Well, could they get another one on here? Fly out to center as Bree Evans gets underneath it. Hawhey, the lone strikeout victim in this game, is now coming up to bat. Let's take a look at that last out. Bree Evans didn't even have to move a whole lot. The wind was blowing in from center field to start the game.
Now
it sort of died down.
Number 15, Michaela Winan.
Really well played ball.
We are going to have a new hitter here for Pendleton Heights. It is Michaela Winans. She will bat in the spot of Savannah Hawhey. So Michaela Winans, an average this year of .455, appearing in her 20th game. This is her 30th plate appearance. She stays away from the first pitch, which makes the count 1 ball, no strikes. And then after her, we go to the top of the order. She bloops it foul. And the 1-1, not quite there from Natasha Coy. So when you're in a situation like this, Coach, where you've got a tie game and you got both pitchers out there, you know, sticking with it, how long do you go with them until you have to go somewhere else?
Well, I've not seen anything out of either one of these young ladies right now that would concern me as a coach. I mean, you're my pitcher. You know, just keep doing what you do, and we're going to try to field behind you.
And there's our first walk that we've seen tonight from either team. And it's issued by Natasha Coy to Michaela Winans.
Now, that would get my attention if I was coaching.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you don't see a ton of walks.
Top of the batting order with the third baseman.
And for Winans.
Number 12, Lauren Landis.
Taking a look at some of what she's been able to do this year. Lauren Landis 1 for 2 with a single in this game. And she hit it hard, but right to the shortstop, Sammy Herron, in her last at bat.
Well, not seeing any signals from Coach Rob Davis, so he seems to be content with just letting her swing the bat and see if she can hit it hard again.
And she makes contact. Could this be a double play? There's one, and that's all they're going to get out of it. But they do get the lead runner, so Landis grounds into a fielder's choice. Winans is retired. Now there's 2 outs
Now batting a shortstop
in the 5th
Number
inning. Boy, look at the Pendleton Heights first base coach was in some trouble there. She saw that ball was coming high, and she had to duck just to get out of the way of it. Kylie Davis is next, and there we have our first stolen base of the game. And it goes the way of Lauren Landis. And if I'm not mistaken, Lauren has been pretty doggone good in that category. Yep, she just stole her 10th base of the season. That is the 32nd stolen base of the year for Pendleton Heights. And based on the way Coach Robbie Davis is looking, that looked like it was planned.
Well, and again, not a huge threat there, because if she does get thrown out, then you would lead the inning off with your number 2 hitter. So you're good either way. If she does get there, then great. You got a runner in scoring position.
1-1, slapped foul by Kylie Davis. She's 0 for 2. She's reached on an error, and she has grounded out today.
So one of those win-win situations as a coach.
Pendleton Heights scored their run in the 2nd. Delta just added 1 in the 5th, and that one is fouled off. Can't ever doubt where these foul balls are going to go either, because they're playable for just about every one of these players. And I think she barely made contact with it.
Well, and that's what I've always talked about. You know, that was a close, just get a bat on it. Just get a bat on it, foul it off, and live to see another pitch. And oftentimes, especially high school pitchers, tend to make mistakes.
The 1-2, and again, that was near the strike zone, so she had to swing at it just to foul it off, and she did. So that will bring Landis back to second base. Now, you noticed something that was interesting. We saw a foul ball get stuck in the net up here, and one of the Pendleton Heights staff members had to take a rod and push the ball out of the net, because we're going to be getting to that thing otherwise.
Yeah, and it is netting. It's not a fence.
That ball bounces to home plate, and now Landis in a bit of a jam, but then she's able to get back to second. Good job by the catcher, Kate Paxson, for Delta, making her stay put. But you could tell she wanted to throw down there and possibly get her. The 2-2 is slapped over to short, bobbled for a second by Herring, throw to first, not in time.
Ball was bobbled on both ends. It was bobbled at shortstop level and the first. I don't think it would have mattered at first base, as the batter runner had beat the throw anyway. But a little bobble there, and if we follow the play throughout, you're going to see a little bobble on the first baseman side.
But I think by the time the throw got there, it wouldn't have got her. I think that's going to be an E6, an error on Sammy Herron. But that puts runners on the corners now, And a steal here for Davis. She's going to just take second base with ease. So Kylie Davis, when you look at that, picking up another stolen base this year. That is her 4th in 4 attempts, and the count is now 2-0 to Kelsey Sturgeon, who's 1 for 2 in this game with a single.
Good hitters count here.
Now ball 3. First time I've seen a pitcher in this game from either team be this behind on an at-bat. And at 3-0, she was taking the whole way, and there's a strike. Sturgeon knew it was a strike, so she steps out. Gets a word from her coach. So can Pendleton get back in front? Well, Sturgeon makes good on the contact, but fouls it away. Now the count is full. First base is open.
Nice job by Natasha Coy battling back. She was down 3-0, and now it's 3-2.
Sturgeon over to short again, fielded the throw, and she's safe, so that scores a run.
Interesting choice by the shortstop there. With 2 outs, normally you coach them up just to go ahead and get the out at first base, and she decided to try to get the tag, and great slide. The throw was not great. It was up and to the left field side of the bag. If the throw had been better, maybe they'd had a chance. But decision leads to a run.
Well, you know, but at the same time, you know, when you're Sammy Herron, the shortstop, you're throwing the ball to third. It's your quickest and easiest throw. You go to first, it's a bit of a longer throw, so I sort of understand that, and the tag was very close. I think we have a runner coming over to first base, running now for Pendleton Heights, Brianna Bell at first base now, taking the spot of Kelsey Sturgeon.
Number 7.
Coach Davis going through a series of signals here. Let's see if he asks Brianna Bell to steal a base.
Well, and it's obvious in this situation, Bell has the speed. That's why she's in the game. And with 2 outs, it looked like she might try to go to second, but she stays put after that strike was thrown. So Pendleton Heights has regained the lead. This inning started off with a fly out to center by Allie Hall. Then Michaela Winans came in and walked. And another stolen base.
Yeah, actually, a little bit of a pitch out there. The catcher came up and tried to fake a throw, like she was going to throw through to deke the runner, but it didn't work at third base.
She's in scoring position. Bell is. With the score 2-1. And the 1-2 fouled off. So now you got runners on second and third, 2 outs. But this is just, you know, sometimes when your bats go cold, you got to find a creative way to advance the runners, and that's precisely what Pendleton Heights has done. The 1-2, driven high into right. It's in foul territory, and a nice catch made right in front of the mat by Madison Delaney to end the inning. But
excellent catch.
But Pendleton Heights gets a run, and they are now up 2-1 going into inning number 6 on 9 Star TV.
This is really remote, but even the big fish have gone.
It's my mission to see monsters rule once again.
That is a big fish.
This is still a living river.
Jeremy Wade's Mighty Rivers. New Sundays at 9 on Animal Planet.
Welcome to the world famous Apollo Theater. This show is all about finding new talent. You decide who lives and who dies. Not to mention, we got Pitbull, Macklemore, and make some noise for Snoop Dogg.
Hold up.
If you ready for the show to get started, she came out.
Showtime at the Apollo, Thursdays on Fox, or watch anytime on demand and Fox Now.
Top of the batting order with the
Well,
shortstop,
Delta,
number 5,
after
Samantha
trailing
Herrick.
1-0, they come back and tie the game, but now the Delta Eagles allowed the Pendleton Heights Arabians to score another one in the bottom of the 5th. So we go to the 6th, and Delta is behind yet again, down 2-1. So Jordan Benefield goes back to work as the starting pitcher for Pendleton Heights and throws that pitch outside for ball 1. And it is the top of the order for Delta. Sammy Herron, Tabby Thornburg, Bree Evans. The 1-0 pitch. Down and away. Hits the outside corner, 1-1.
Well, this is the third time through, and this is the third time that Sammy Herron has seen Jordan Benefield, so let's see whether or not she comes up with a plan and approach.
Makes a good decision to stay away from that pitch, and it's 2-1. Or that, well, they appealed down the first base line. They just changed the call. I think they just called it a strike. So, well, pop up now. And caught by Amanda White. Again, no guarantee. We have not, every time we've seen a ball hit in the air by anyone, there's no certainty as to whether someone's going to catch that ball, especially with the sun being as bright as it is. You can tell Amanda White was a little bit bothered by it, but still made the catch. Tabby Thornburg, the next Delta batter. 1 for 2 today with a single. You might remember she was the one that broke up the Jordan Benefield no-hitter in the 4th. She got that single, but then was retired later in that inning on a fielder's choice. And the 1-0 just misses, 2-0. That looked like that umpire was concentrating on that.
He's done that all day. He's really done a nice job of just watching the pitch all the way to the catcher's glove and then even sitting on it with his eyes for a second.
2 balls, no strike pitch, low for ball 3. This is the first time Jordan Benefield has thrown a 3-0 count.
But that's really a mark of a good home plate umpire. He's not anticipating.
That time when the pitch came in, he automatically knew that it was a strike.
But very deliberate even in a strike call. Not in a hurry, and that's good. You don't want umpires to get in a hurry and start anticipating things.
She puts this in play over to short. Davis is there and retires it. Second out. And I think, boy, you get out of this inning, a 1-2-3 inning if you're Pendleton Heights against the top of the Delta order. That is huge.
Evans.
Well, it is. It's a game, that's frame by frame. You have to win each frame. And this would be a great start for Pendleton to win this frame if they can get out of this inning 1-2-3.
Bree Evans is up. She's 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and also a bounce out to second. One of the seniors on this Delta team. And Delta is filled with tons of talented seniors. They have 6 of them. Pitch was obviously too low there, 2-1.
Yeah, she took just a little something off of it. A little change up.
But isn't that pitch good to throw every once in a while?
Sure, it's a great
just to make the hitters think, okay, she's going to change location on me from time to time, and that one is hit hard but foul. Good contact at least made by Evans, and now Delta is down to their last strike in this top of the 6th inning.
Hitting is so much timing. It's being able to rock your weight back if you do that as a hitter. Some don't. But being able to launch your bat at the right time, and if they have a good change, it's hard to do.
And she accidentally kind of has an excuse me swing there and fouls it off. The count stays 2-2. Boy, she got lucky there. Evans didn't mean to put that one in play, but she did.
Yeah, and Lauren Landis, third base, made a wise choice of picking it up foul because she would have never gotten her at first if she'd have fielded it in fair territory. So you want to grab that thing before it hits. Time to hit a rock and spin back fair.
The 2-2, got her to chase it and miss. And that will end the 6th inning, a critical time for Pendleton Heights to come up with a 1-2-3 inning against Delta. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score, 2-1 Arabians. And now looking at the strikeout total for Jordan Benefield.
I've got her for 9.
Yep, she has 9 strikeouts. She has struck out Natalie Maloney twice and Elena Morgan twice, but all of the other strikeouts have been different batters. So it's not like she's striking out the same batters over and over. She is getting different people involved.
Yeah, very, very good outing for a very strong outing for her.
Have a sale in the concession stand.
We'll see if she can
half-price hot dogs,
finish it off.
Half-price hamburgers,
pitched the complete game.
While it lasts.
Looks like we have one sub. Anna Bragg for Delta just moved into left field. So, and this is getting to the point of the game where we might see some subs for both teams start to get in. And Olivia Connor will lead off the bottom of the sixth. Prime opportunity here for Pendleton Heights to get an insurance run or two. Connor has been probably the best hitter on the field in this game today. She's 2 for 2 with a run scored, a double and a single. The first pitch, perfect for a strike, 0-1. So Natasha Coy will try to prevent this from being an insurance run inning for Pendleton Heights. And then her bats have to help her out. There's a pop fly in the infield and playable for Cassidy Dishman. So for the first time in this game, Olivia Connor has been retired. And really it was interesting, Coy was throwing that outside. I think it looked like the catcher Paxton didn't get the ball where she wanted it.
Well, and again, that's what I talked about earlier about pitchers making mistakes. It doesn't matter whether you're a softball pitcher or a baseball pitcher. A lot of times the catcher sets up one place, and when you see that catcher's glove move either all the way across the plate, that's the one you want to try to hit. You know, that's the mistake that the kids will occasionally make.
Good start to the at-bat here for Chloe Klosser.
Years ago, there used to be a guy who played for Chicago Cubs, Sammy Sosa, and I always thought Sosa was the best mistake hitter I had ever seen.
Yeah.
If the catcher's glove moved at all, you know, the catcher set up outside and then the glove had to come in, it was gone. Sammy did not miss mistakes.
That is a 4-pitch walk dealt to Chloe Klosser. That is, and you hope if you're Delta that that's not a sign of fatigue for Natasha Coy.
Now batting center field, number 20.
Well, Klosser put the ball in play both times up previous, and it's possible maybe that Coy knew that and was just going to try to stay away from her.
Bunt was on here, and I think it might end up panning out for Pendleton Heights as Klosser ends up stealing second base. The umpire on the infield took it. Yep. As you can see on the replay, she's clearly safe. Klosser got in, no problem.
And the umpire, I think, was pointing to the ball being loose. He was indicating that the ball was loose.
Jaden Brown is the next Pendleton Heights batter, 0 for 2. She has lined into a double play and flown out to left. So Pendleton Heights have scored their 2 runs, one in the second, the other one in the 5th. That one over towards Sammy Herron, who picks and throws to first and will not get there. Boy, Sammy Herron has just had a rough day over at short today. But really, this one's not her fault. This is just a really well-hit ball.
No, it's
by
just she's
Brown.
deep enough, and she feels it. She sets her feet. She gets rid of it quickly. Just 60-foot base pass.
Yep.
Base hit.
So now you got runners on first and second if you're Pendleton Heights with 1 out. And Allie Hall. She's 0 for 2 today, and she is now behind 0-1.
But she has made contact both times.
Yes.
So again, you know, contact hitters in this Pendleton lineup.
And on her last at bat, she flew out to deep center. Don't forget, you can also find us on 9-Star TV by going to 9starconnect.com. The 1-1. Strike 2. John Herrick along with Jim Leisure up in the booth here. Legends Field. Some high school softball at Pendleton Heights. Arabians trying to get a home victory here. And there's ball 2. You know, that's been one thing. Pendleton Heights has had a little bit of some issues winning at home. I wouldn't say issues, but 6-4 at home.
Wow. I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah. One skied out of play. And the umpire, wow, okay. He just got into it with a fan behind home plate because some fan was saying something about the toe in the box. I guess a fan had an issue with where the player's toe was. You know, I'm not going to try to give umpires advice, but I've been a basketball ref and I was an umpire for one baseball game. Engaging with fans is usually not a very good idea.
Not going to end well, generally.
It's not. And that one goes off the leg of Natasha Coy. But I think that's going to be a hit because I don't think, again, just.
Look at the replay here. Let's see. Tried to backhand it there. It was a little slow.
Well, it
could go either way. I mean, it's up to the official score. We'll see what they put up here on the board.
They say error, but I say hit. Because, again, that ball is not hit in a very easy way for you to get it.
No, it was tough play. It was tough play. She was just a little slow reacting to it, and perhaps maybe they felt like she should have had it.
1-0 is driven high down the right field line and out of here. First time in the game, by the way, we've had bases loaded for either team. And Michaela Winans, who pinch hit in her last at bat for Savannah Hawhey and walked, takes her spot in the batter's box and is now behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. And if you are Delta and you can come out of this inning with no runs against you and only down a run going into the 7th, you've got to feel great. Here's how the inning started. A pop out to second by Olivia Connor, then a walk to Klosser, and then back-to-back singles for Brown and Hall. And there's a strikeout. And that's just the second strikeout from Natasha Coy today. But that puts us back at the top of the Pendleton Heights order with 2 outs for Lauren Landis, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored. And Landis, again, don't forget, has been outstanding this year for Pendleton Heights. 5.07 average. She has 37 hits. And also, not only that, but has 22 runs driven in. Is also tied for the team lead in doubles with 12. Good looking pitch there from Coy, and she sends that one into right, and a nice play made by Madison Delaney, and Pendleton Heights leaves them loaded in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th with the score, Pendleton Heights 2 and Delta 1 on 9 Star TV.
Are you angry? Who gets to decide what's politically correct? Do you feel left out? What inspires you to speak out against hate? Are you sexist? Are immigrants threatening American jobs? Do you judge people based on their religion? Are we more divided than ever or just louder?
What about my right? You have to take a stand.
How can we find common ground?
America Inside Out with Katie Couric. New episodes Wednesdays at 10 on National Geographic.
Well, the Delta Eagles are down to their last 3 outs here going into the top of the 7th inning. Pendleton Heights leads it 2-1. It is the 4, 5, 6 portion of the Delta order coming up here. Natasha Coy, Bailey Butler, and Natalie Maloney. And right away, a strike called against Natasha Coy as Jordan Benefill tries to get a complete game shutout victory. She's trying to go to 7-2 on the year. And she's off to a great start here.
Yeah, nice change up there, nice change of pace, and Coy just way out in front of it. And now she's, I'm sure, got, Coy thinking, what's next? What is she going to come with?
9 strikeouts for Benefill. Make it 10.
It's tough to hit when you're 0-2, when you're down 0-2. I mean, again, you're at the pitcher's mercy, and she has her entire arsenal available to her.
But I think you mentioned this earlier, Jim, even though this is softball, you can get a lot of different movement on the ball. It's not just these girls don't just get out there and throw it as hard as they can.
Not even close.
I think that's where a lot of the misconception is, and people think, well, what do the girls in softball do? Just throw it as hard as they can. No. They mix it up. They throw change-ups. They use location. Their catchers do a really good job framing the pitches. Like that one. That one's excellent. 1-1.
Yeah, I've never coached softball at the high school level, but I know a lot of guys and gals who do, and they're it's not uncommon for a young lady to have more pitches in her arsenal than the average high school pitcher in baseball.
In at the knees for a strike. 1-2 to Bailey Butler. Butler came into this game hitting .429. She has scored the lone run. She got hit by a pitch in the 5th and came around to score, and she lines that one back up the middle for a base hit.
Well, Delta's got a little bit of life with one out here, about our top of the 7th inning.
She's one of 4 different base runners for Delta to reach base. She's now reached it twice, and she represents the tying run. So let's see if Natalie Maloney can get her across. Pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. And you got Delta, who is 2-2 in the conference. Pendleton Heights 1-2. So Pendleton Heights really needs to win this game over Delta for conference position. Strike, 1-1.
Yeah, you were talking about pitching, and, just with the motion, I mean, the ball can go in, it can go out, it can go down. And obviously, because of the motion, it can actually go up. You hear about some young ladies throwing a rise ball, where with a baseball pitcher who throws overhand, people say the ball's rising. It's actually not. It's a little bit more of an optical illusion. It's physically really impossible, I think. You'd have to throw the baseball about 180 miles an hour to get it to rise. So that's not going to happen. But here it can because of the underhand delivery.
That one belted to left by Maloney, and then it gets through the legs of Haughey and over to the wall, and now there are runners on second and third. So a single will be credited to Maloney, but then the error allows Butler to go to third. So that'll go down as an E7, a hit and an error on that play. And now for Pendleton Heights, Coach Rob Davis has to make a decision here. Boy, second and third with one out. Not a position you want to be in as a defense. But let's think about this. You've got Madison Delaney, who's about to step on in. She has struck out once. Cassidy Dishman will be next, but she's hit a double. And then after her, Elena Morgan has struck out twice. So that's what's in the immediate future coming up here for Delta.
Looks like Delta may be going with number 8.
Now batting number 8.
Kerrigan Jetmore.
So yep, we are going to go. They are going to go with a pinch hitter here, and it is Kerrigan Jetmore.
But I think Coach Davis just went out there and reminded her where she was in the lineup. You've pitched a great game so far. Continue to pitch your game.
But you get this play into even remotely shallow outfield, you got a sac fly and a chance to tie the game. And a base hit will give your team the lead. First pitch is a ball to Jetmore. So Kerrigan Jetmore is making her 25th plate appearance this year with a batting average of .261. And the 1-0 pitch not quite there, and it's 2-0. Pitch. Ball, strike one. Okay, he did take a while to decide that one, and it was close.
Okay, good pitch to me.
But you'd love a strikeout or a pop-up on the infield here if you're Pendleton Heights. And that one lined right back to Benefiel for the second out, and she was thinking double play to end this puppy, but Delta did a good job, both runners staying put. Look at this line shot right back to her, and that's exactly why you wear the mask.
Absolutely.
Even if you're a pitcher, that's why you wear it.
We see a lot of infielders wearing them too. The third baseman, Lauren Landis, is wearing one for Pendleton as well.
So Dishman fouls it off. The first few innings, the first 4 or so, went along really quick. But then in the 5th, this is when things started to get tense. Both teams had scored a run. Pendleton Heights led by 1. They took their first lead 1-0 after 2. Then both teams got a run in the 5th. But Delta's never led in this game. And a swing and a miss. So now Delta is down to their last strike. And if Pendleton Heights can get this win, they would move ahead of Delta in the conference standings.
Let's see what Jordan Benefiel picks here. She has her whole arsenal. The fastball outside. Trying to get her to chase one there.
Yep.
I got to believe she's going to come back with that little.
Yep, that was outside looking at the replay.
I call it basically a screwball where it starts outside and breaks back in. No, she stayed outside.
I think maybe she might be trying to get her to go opposite field over to first where the first base is empty, or?
You know what, I know how pitchers think. She's thinking strikeout.
Yeah.
She's not thinking contact. That's what the hitter's thinking.
Yeah, the hitter's thinking maybe, if you're if you're Dishman, you're going, hey, let's go opposite way here.
That was absolutely an inside-out swing. But pitchers are competitive kids, and she's not pitching to contact here. She's pitching for strikes.
And the 2-2. She went around. Cassidy Dishman went around, and that ends the game, and she throws her bat down. What an awesome softball game this was between these two. Let's look at this last strikeout. Ooh, I don't know.
Well, I think he called it. I really do.
I think he called it a strike. And
yes, I think it was a called strike.
I think it's a strike, but I don't think she went around.
She didn't. I think he called strike 3.
Yeah, and I think he's right, because I think that ball's right about where it needs to be on the outside corner.
He, again, was a little slow and deliberate on his call, but he was that way all day.
Yep. And I think, given the type of performance that Jordan Benefiel had pitching today for Pendleton Heights, it's fitting that this game ends with a Jordan Benefiel strikeout, and Pendleton Heights gets the victory. They go to 15-7 on the season, and they are now 2-2 in conference play. The Delta Eagles drop to 11-5, and they are now 2-3 in the conference. Jim Leisure and I will be back for our post-game thoughts and give you some final numbers, and then we'll send you on to the rest of the evening. We'll be back in a moment on 9 Star TV.
This May, for the first time on HDNet Movies, you'll see The Lookout, Ride with the Devil, Gone, and The Kids Are All Right. Plus, special presentations like Western Icons, hosted by Ethan Wayne, everybody's favorite comedic duo, Bill and Ted.
Excellent!
Plus, you can catch all the action with Jet Li's Killer Collection.
Well, the hard-fought competitive softball game goes to the Pendleton Heights Arabians. They beat the Delta Eagles here on their home field, Legends Field in Pendleton, Indiana, on 9 Star TV. And we'll wrap up here with some post-game thoughts. Let's get you some of just the final overall team stats. For the Delta Eagles in the losing effort, they had a run on 4 hits. They left 4 people on base, and they did commit 2 errors. For the Pendleton Heights Arabians, they had 2 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. They left 8 girls on base. And the winning pitcher was Jordan Benefiel for Pendleton Heights. She went the full distance, 7 innings. She gave up just 4 hits and a run. It was an earned run, but she had 11 strikeouts, 0 walks. So she is your winning pitcher. She now goes to 7-2 on the season. So she now has 88 strikeouts on the season to 13 walks. And here's a look at that last strikeout that she had, and it was right there on the corner. And I don't believe Dishman went around, but again, excellent job there by Olivia Connor to frame that ball from Jordan Benefiel. The losing pitcher, Natasha Coy, she pitches 6 innings, gives up 7 hits, 2 runs, had 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Her record now drops to 11-4. Jim, first of all, your final thoughts about that last strikeout call. You feel like it was indeed strike
I do.
3.
I think it was called 3rd strike. I don't think that the batter moving the bat had any impact at all on the umpire's call. He was slow and deliberate with his calls all day. I just think that was yet another one. It was no different than the others, except it happened to be the last one. There may be a fan from Delta that thought maybe it was outside, but it looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Jordan Benefiel was just really, really nasty today. Like you mentioned earlier, 11 strikeouts. But Natasha Coy pitched really well,
she
too.
Did.
These are 2 sophomores. Benefiel's a sophomore, Coy's a sophomore. The difference is that I don't think that Coy benefited from the offensive support that Jordan Benefiel got. Pendleton Heights got a base hit out of their first hitter, Lauren Landis. The 3-hole, Kelsey Sturgeon had a base hit. Olivia Connor, batting 5th, had 2 base hits. And then they also got base hits from the 6 and 7 hitters, Chloe Klosser and Jaden Brown. So, unfortunately for Natasha Coy, she just did not enjoy that type of offensive production from her hitters.
But still, an excellent performance by 2 great pitchers in Natasha Coy and Jordan Benefiel. But it's Jordan Benefiel emerging victorious as the Pendleton Heights Arabians take care of business, and they beat the Delta Eagles 2-1. For all of our wonderful crew members on 9 Star TV, thank you to them for helping us bring this broadcast to you, all the great camera folks, and to you back home, the viewer, thank you for watching. For Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick saying so long from Legends Field. You've been watching 9 Star TV.